Hello and welcome to Cultural Diversity of the Americas, and this is a recording of the slide deck. Student expectation. I will define cultural diversity and identify cultural contributions of different immigrant groups to the Americas. Immigration. Immigrant. A person who moves into a different country from their home country. The act of moving from one country to another is called immigration. Think about it. The root words of immigrant and immigration are migrants and migration. Time to pretend. Pretend you and your family are moving to Canada next week. Most likely, you will all bring things from your former house to your new house. Likewise, when you get to Canada, you'll want foods you are used to. What would they be? Think Tex-Mex, Vietnamese, anything you know and are used to. If you can't find it, chances are you and your family will get the ingredients and recreate the food you know. Cultural diffusion. When immigrants move from one country to another, they bring more than items from their former house. Immigrants bring their ideas about religion and family structure. They also bring their art, language, fashion, and recipes from their homeland. In short, immigrants bring their culture. This transfer of culture from one region to another is called cultural diffusion. Cultural diffusion. When culture spreads from one area of the world to another area of the world. Cultural diffusion happens naturally through immigration and colonization. The more immigrants from a country, the stronger the cultural diffusion. Cultural diversity. Cultural diversity is a variety of cultural groups in one region or location. Another word for cultural diversity is multiculturalism. Look at this picture. How does this represent cultural diversity? Cultural diversity occurs from cultural diffusion with many different cultural sources. Cultural diversity only exists with cultural diffusion. According to this map, Texas is the fourth most diverse state in the United States. What immigrant groups make this state diverse? Cultural contributions. French. The culture of many countries has ties to colonization. For example, because France colonized what we know today as Canada, Canadians share many cultural traits with the French. For example, most Canadians speak English and French. The Quebec province in Canada has the highest population of French speakers. This is the same region the French colonized. French cultural influence is found in Canadian architecture. The Notre Dame, built in 1163, is a famous cathedral in Paris. In 1608, the French founded Quebec, a province in Canada. In 1647, a Notre Dame was built in Quebec, Canada. Notre Dame is, I think, how they actually say it, not Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Cultural contributions, French. This is a picture of the inside of the Notre Dame, Paris, France, and inside the Notre Dame of Quebec, Canada. What are two similarities you see in these cathedrals? When the French colonized North America, their territory extended to the Gulf of Mexico, and they found New Orleans as a trade port in 1718. From French restaurants like Café du Monde to the French Quarter itself, there's a lot of French influence to be found in New Orleans. Cultural contributions. Spain. Spain colonized what we know as Mexico, Central America, the Caribbean, and much of South America. Because of cultural diffusion, Spanish cultural traits are found in these regions. Cultural traits include the Spanish language, Catholicism, food, and music. Roots of Latin music. Latin music has Spanish, African, and indigenous roots. The Spanish brought their style of music to the lands they colonized. Their music featured the guitar and the gyro, featured in styles such as son and salsa. Their music was fused with the drumming of African slaves and the flutes of the indigenous people. The style of rumba music especially features African beats and Spanish melodies. If you watch the videos, notice the language. Before Spain colonized and conquered the Mayan Empire, Mayans believed in multiple gods and committed human sacrifices to appease their gods. The Spanish saw this as barbaric and forced the Mayans to follow their religion, Catholicism. Today, Mayans associate their sun god with Jesus and their moon goddess with the Virgin Mary. The sacrifices they perform are done in Catholic churches with chickens, usually to help cure illnesses. Today, much of our American cultural diversity is due to immigrants. Over 145 different languages are spoken in Houston alone. Because of immigration and cultural diffusion, there is a wide variety of food found in Houston: Italian, Chinese, Vietnamese, Mexican, Cuban, Puerto Rican, Indian, Pakistani, and many more. Immigrants introduce others to new ideas. Because of immigrants, we have YouTube, Google, Apple, Blue Jeans, basketball, and the rock bands Kiss and Van Halen. Ask your parents. Through immigration and cultural diffusion, people develop an awareness to other cultures, and humanity becomes more connected through understanding and acceptance. That was the end of my slide deck. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was beneficial.